Welcome to the Energy Protection Workshop with your host, Lex Vibes, and my associate.
Hello, I am Fluorite.
We call her Fluorite because it's her stone. It just is. Mental clarity, focus, just support stone. All right. So, I wanted to start with why is it so important to protect your energy? So, if we are drained, unhappy, stressed out, etc., we seem to fall straight down a hill collecting like a snowball negative energy to the bottom. The more negative, more heavy you become. This is going to hold you stuck and lacking a sense of fulfillment or purpose. So if you're, as what they call an empath, and you're feeling like an over amount of sensitivity and empathy towards, like, you can really like pick up emotional and you just pick up vibes like very easily off of like a lot of things. You get overly emotional about something maybe, or like you seem to like absorb your friend's energy when they're in distress or something like that. So now then there's also like empaths seem to like they attract narcissists because they do this thing called gaslighting, where when an empath tries to explain their sensitivity towards something, they'll turn around and like make it like it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a never-ending battle of like just like energy drain and suck, and like just a cycle of like despair basically. But what I've come to learn is that this kind of type of like personality or people, when they attract these narcissists, they need to, in order to basically to reach enlightenment in a sense, because you have to learn how to overcome this obstacle basically. That's what life is all about. You need to free yourself of all obstacles so that you may then be receptive to all the knowledge in the world basically, in the universe. Then you have, this is like a theory I've got here, like you've got something called light workers. They bring light to things. They heal via light. They're just really like positive, maybe like just like witty people, people make you laugh. They make light of things. So they make your world less heavy. They attract something called energy vampires, who come to them consistently to feed off of that light that they give them. And they might come to them with like an ongoing problem all the time, that you consistently give advice and opinions and time, your energy, to them, and they refuse to change or do anything different about it. So you're constantly giving, and they're just absorbing this. In a sense, though, they live like a half-life. They have to constantly feed off of people like that. So if you learn how to protect your energy from that, they'll move on. They won't be around you anymore. And it might get lonely, to be honest. It's sad. But trust me, it's worth it. Because everything in nature revolves around this cycle, this give and take of symbiosis, a symbiotic relationship. All animals have it. We all have it with nature, plants, each other. And that's what it is. If you give too much of your energy without getting an equal exchange, mm-hmm. you're drained, and you feel that. Like it's like you're getting all this like positive energy because you know how to do your skills, you know how to like keep yourself good, but then you're just getting it sucked out.
So where the symbiosis becomes more parasitic.
Exactly. So let me go to now. How do you, being this sensitive person, or like this person who always seems to get their energy absorbed by others, how do you protect your own energy? The first thing you got to do is reclaim your energy. Basically, figure out what your energy feels like to you, because you're constantly you're constantly getting the people that you're giving to, you're opening up a passageway between you and them of this energy. So you're going to get drained, and in turn not really know what your truth is, like where you stand, like what's your basis, like what's your energy feel like when it's not being drained, when it's not being taken advantage of. So to reclaim your energy, you need to figure out what yours feels like, and that's like where you come into doing things like mindfulness and grounding, because that is the gateway to silencing your mind. You're getting your time alone. You got to get into like the space called your sacred space. It's like, it's referenced in the ebook. It's like, it's your space. It's just no one else's energy's in there. It's your time alone, and you really face like what your energy feels like, and pay attention to like your triggers outside of things too, because your triggers will be what tells you exactly what it is about, like the root behind why it bothers you in the first place. So like if you're feeling that person's energy, you'll be able to be like, wait, is that my trigger or is that them, you know, like, so figure out yours and get to your root, and then also you can absolve those triggers by doing those kinds of things through meditation and whatnot. And that's the best way to do that, is like you gotta like be determined and committed through discipline.
Yes.
And like, here, I have this written down. I'm such a nerd. Okay. So, the master keys to awareness, to becoming energy aware, self-aware, is meditation, visualization, attention, and discipline. Your body-mind is the vehicle you have to explore the sea of vital life force we live within, is fully equipped for the journey. Meaning we have everything we need within us to harness our own energy and literally manifest anything we want. So, that's like a whole big thing. But I'm taking, that was paraphrased from this book that I've been reading called, what was it actually? Crap. I'll have to like link it onto this email because I can't not reference the author, but it's just like energy something. But just like the master keys of awareness, that's what you have to do. Become self-aware, harness your energy, and then through grounding and mindfulness, you can then learn how to protect it. This is how. Because when you ground, when you ground, this is how some examples for grounding. Reconnect with nature, deep breathing, meditation, mindfulness, do some creative expression, time alone, learn something new. Like, learn about yourself, learn about your energy, learn what ticks you, like what this is, whatever, like, just really know every little aspect. And then, the free attention you gain in meditation can connect you to what you truly feel and what you truly believe. This knowledge guides you to the choices that basically depict who you are and what you truly want. Your values dictate your choices. Your values come from knowing yourself. You learn yourself. You honor your boundaries. You honor your boundaries when you self-love, self-accept. Find yourself within yourself, not someone else. This is some stuff I was writing down free-handedly. You self-love with self-care. Your boundaries can help you realize your values, and your values subsequently help you find your boundaries. So boundaries are really important, because once you figure out what your energy is and you figure out how to differentiate yours and someone else's, you don't really, then you can say, no, I don't want to absorb that. Like, you'll notice right away when you walk into a room, you're like, you can even tell exactly which person it's coming from. So just become more mindful, more aware, and then you can, and then you set boundaries by spiritually, you know, you like wear protection crystals like black tourmaline, absorbs negative energy, things like that. But then also, like, you use your voice, you communicate with these people like, no, You do not come in my space between this and this hours or whatever. If you have like a guest who always pops over when you don't want it to be happening, you set your foot down on things. If you know you're about to go to like a party that's gonna drain you because like half the people there you don't want to see, it's like, do you really want to waste that 2 hours? Like, and then you gotta go ground and like reconnect with nature and like meditate and like bring yourself all the way back to like a positive state of mind. Like, you're gonna start to see that you don't want to do that anymore. So you find your sacred space, you find your time alone to like figure out these values, figure out what you value within yourself, to like, there's some things like you shouldn't, the little things are the big things, like they always say, you give someone an inch, they take a yard, but it's like more than that. Like, that's with your energy, you know what I mean? Like, just calling someone on the phone and talking to them for an hour, that's like your energy right there. So if you're not getting equal energy exchange, then you're drained. Like, those are things that drain you. It's like, it's not the work that's mundane when you go to work, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, it's the energy around it. So we gotta learn how to do that. So, to really like kind of map your own energy, see where you stand on things and whatever, it's actually good to have like positive routines. So keeping positive routines that mark the passing of time, teaching us and reminding us to follow the flow, the cycle of life, and trust the process. So this is also brings awareness to the fact that there's nothing wrong with you for having this sensitivity. Like, there should be more empathy in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it's literally, you need to utilize it. Like, that's why you're given it. Like, we shouldn't look at it as such like a burden and a task. Like, we're all given, like, we are biologically designed for everything that we experience. We wouldn't experience anything that we were made for. So, next time that you go through something that's like particularly difficult, try and think of it like, well, this is what I'm made for. Like, I'm good at this. Like, I can do this. Because like 99% of the time, you really can. Like, it's always something that's kind of like mundane and crappy, but you are kind of like good at it for some reason. Like, all hell breaks loose at work and they're like, yo, we need you up front. And you're like, I am good at this. Like, but you feel freaking good at the end of the day when you can accomplish it.
Yeah.
It's just if only we like didn't, get brought down by the energy around us like that, then you can end the day good. But it's like, then we get wrapped up in that, which is hard. So it's like, we got to get into our own, what you got to do is like, you got to get into your own bubble, basically. Like, your aura is what they say, but it's like, literally, like, think about visualizing, projecting this like bubble around you. Like, now you have like social distancing and stuff, but like, now imagine a bubble filling up that space. Mm-hmm. So it's even easier to visualize now because you actually have the distance. So it's like, just keep always thinking that. Like, it's not about the place you're in or where you're at. Like, it's all about where you carry your bubble, like how large and how strong you can keep it. So through these keys, you take back your energy, and you take back your control, and by becoming aware that you can do this in the first place. Okay. So, the rest is kind of in the book. Let's start open discussion now that I just discussed the topics here.
So, I want to talk more about the positive rituals in, like, self-love and self-care.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the secret in wanting to, like, actually wake up in the morning is to fall in love with the little things.
Yeah, definitely.
And this is gonna, I don't know how this could sound, but, like, it's easier to do that when you have, like, pretty things. Like...
Well, the things that mean something for you. Like,
like the crystals.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Specifically, and I just, because you said...
I wrote down
your
that.
energy, like, with a crystal grid.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, man, that grid that we made, well, that you fixed for me. Ooh,
Well, because,
you.
like, crystal grids are, like, so they're your intention. So you whatever your intention is, you gather those gem zones, and then the 6 crystals that are in it is what amplifies that intention. So, like, when I wrote this down here, because she's reading through my notes, and she sees, like, complete your energy, and I said crystal grid. And, like, that's what will complete it, because, like, those are your tools, your crystal tools. So if you're trying to amplify a certain intention to the universe, right? Mm-hmm. So you want to utilize the tool of the crystal quartz. That's what it does. It amplifies your intention, because we have that biological connection with them through the silicate that we all share. By the way, Earth's crust, crystals, and us all share that cell or gene or whatever molecule. It's interesting.
Funny enough, also the core of the Earth, hematite.
Well, yeah, that's what connects us to it. It's interesting, magnetic, whatever. But yeah, so complete your energy with a crystal grid, because crystal grids then will, like, charge and amplify. Because what you're doing is when we do a certain energy output, when we're trying to do a certain intention, what we're doing is we're amplifying the vibrations of our molecules. But if you look deeper on a like a microscopic level, our molecules, when they vibrate, are making those kaleidoscopic patterns that you see, that at the base root of them have geometric solid shapes, platonic solids or whatever. And so when you're doing a certain intention and it falls under whichever category that platonic solid is, you then radiate little tiny patterns, kaleidoscopic patterns, off of you, out. So if you want to retrain your brain and, like, utilize crystals to do that, you utilize the geometric pattern of setting an intention, that grid, and you place and align the crystals in that way to help attune and align your geometric output to match that. I never put that all together until right now.
That was good.
But that's what I've been learning about lately.
And that's 100% like where the geometric shapes that you use to build a crystal grid come from, and I think that's the coolest thing on Earth.
Right?
Because it's literally, and all of nature is geometric shapes, but
we're
not going to get into that right now. Cause that's
deep. Well,
that's
that is it. That is it, though, because if you wanna match a certain energy or put a certain energy output, and you're utilizing nature, basically the crystals is your nature, to do it. Or, like, for instance, I'm learning shamanism right now, and you use, like, your medicine bag and the contents of it to, like, anchor you to your now and, like, your truth. So it's, like, the same kind of thing.
That I was covering at another store, and this older gentleman came in, and he was wearing a turquoise stone around his neck and it was, like, some kind of almost wicker braid kind of chain.
Probably like hemp or something.
Yeah, something like that. It was wicked cool. And I asked him to make sure. I was like, is that turquoise? And he was like, yes, it is. And he was like, it's a shamanism stone. It's an abundance stone. I was like...
Turquoise is known for protection and health, good health in
Yes,
Native American culture.
Yes, it is. And it's very prominent in... like Arizona and New Mexico.
Right.
Because of that, kind of because of the tourism thing, but also if you've ever been to, heard of Sedona, it's, there's a lot of, they're called vortexes out there. They're just anomalies in energy. And, I've visited a few on a family vacation when I was 15, and they were for, like, a baby empath. Because I was just starting to understand my own energy, but not really.
Right.
They were, I mean, literally life-changing, completely perspective-changing, and...
That's cool.
Just moving to the core. I came back from that trip a different person.
That's really cool.
And
And where was that in Arizona?
that was Sedona.
Sedona.
In the Red Rocks. And we drove to Flagstaff and visited part of the Grand Canyon.
That's cool.
Oh, and I found the spot where I'm getting married.
Nice.
Yeah. It's on the edge of a cliff in the Grand Canyon, and it's Shoshone Point. Oh my God, it's gorgeous if you look it up. Jesus.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible.
You're flying me out.
Yes, I am. Oh my God.
All
You're
right.
maid of honor. Don't even, or matron if you get married before me. We'll see. Well, you know I don't do anything traditional, so fuck those. Well, you know, pardon my French. But,
yeah, let's get back to the point here.
Yes. I wanted to talk about meditation.
Oh, right. You were saying the other day how you were, like, having trouble doing that.
Because there are so many different disciplines. There are so many different
Okay, so here. I actually wanted to touch on this on my next podcast. This is a perfect segue into that. Because when I started with meditation and I found out now, like, it's like, I always have to, like, kind of, like, and not that I don't trust myself, I just want to always, like, go out and make sure it's, like, something else that, you know, I don't know, vibe with someone else who kind of, like, said the same thing that, like, was a mentor of mine or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to kind of, like, explore that. But I started with my meditation would be, like, through my drumming. So before I knew about sound therapy, that would, like, be just, like, jamming with other musical inclined people or whatever, like, just, like, jam bands and, like, doing that. And then it was, like, my lapidary, and then, like, my business, like, certain things turned off my mind because it was my innate function. So, like, I went into a meditative state. Like, I would do that in, like, music therapy when I went into, like, outpatient program.
Yeah.
And, like, now it's, like, oh, and, like, longboarding even, like, skateboarding, like, longboarding, just bombing, like, a big-ass hill, just, like, nice and slow, like, back and forth, like, skiing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's meditative. But then, like, the more I faced stuff inside of me, though, I could sit in that complete silence and find all that joy that I did with the completion of a project. Like, now I can go outside. I used to never think I could do that. I could go outside and sit outside and literally just, like, breathe with nature and, like, get lost for, like, a while. Like, not remember the time. So it's like, you gotta start somewhere, though. You can't, like, knock it off because it's like, oh, I can never reach that one level that, like, everybody kind of, like, talks about. It's like, no, you gotta start. People don't talk about where they start enough. I feel like that's important. Like, you don't have to just start, like, just, like, sitting in silence, you know?
So, long story short, bro, I should just sit and fucking do my scales on the guitar.
Exactly. That's why do you think I've been trying to get you to play your music?
Because I've.
It's like you always understand what I'm saying like 2 months after I say
it. That's because that's how long it takes me sometimes.
No, it's fine because it's, you know what, I've been learning now that I've been like, wow, I like really resonate with this shamanism and whatever. Like, shamanic healing is like you plant the seed like via like a story. Or, like, a thought, and, like, the person has to, like, learn the story themselves to understand it, but, like, the seed was originally planted. Yeah. It's, like, you have to grow. So it's, like...
And nobody wants to sit and do their scales because it's
yeah, but you don't have to.
Almost.
That's not how I started to do it again. I just jammed around, you know?
Because I kind of... Yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
You can just jam around, and then you'll remember your stuff. Everything can be done a different way. Think about it. We look at perspective of ourselves and of our healing at multiple different angles. Why can't we at anything else? Like how when I say, like, I give you the tools and it's like I give you a hammer, I tell you how to use a hammer, but I might say it's here to hit a nail in, and you'll see it as the claw end to take the nail out. Mm-hmm. But I'll, like, focus mainly on the other. Because it's like, here's a tool, but it's up to you to understand how to use it kind of deal.
Yeah.
And you're always going to see a different end of the how to use it more so than the other person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
You can use the power drill to put the screw in
and take it out. Exactly.
I learned that the other day.
But yeah, it's all about perspective and seeing multiple angles, or else you'll cut yourself off from everything. If you think of it the one way, and it's not doable, it's just like, nah, there's always a different way around it. Always. Even if you don't see it. And that's why you got to stay mindful, though. Even if the road is foggy, just stick what's right in front of you and you always can drive home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just look at what's in front of you. So.
The full attention gained in meditation can connect to what
you truly feel and believe. Mm-hmm. Because, like, once you cut out all the distractions, I was describing it to somebody this morning as, like, when you have distractions in your life, you're building a web, and you're constantly tending a web like a spider.
Yeah.
And when you're not tending the web anymore, you don't have this, like, job, basically. You have all this time to, like, figure yourself out, in a sense.
Yeah.
That's why they always say, like, be true to yourself. It's, like, more than that. It's because, like, you're lifting any kind of limit that you might have put on yourself. Because if you're worrying about anything that's not worth worrying about, you're not leaving room in your brain to, like, learn more stuff. So you gotta, like, cut it all. Just whoosh. And it's like, don't worry, be happy. Like, Bob Marley knew.
Yeah,
he got it.
Yeah,
but, like, it's true. Like, it's hard. That's why we gotta fill our lives with good things that are positive and, like, train our brains to, like, see the positive. Because once we do start doing that, we do attract more positive.
Yes, we do.
Mm-hmm. Can't be afraid to do the work, though. The seed can be planted, but you gotta grow. But the seed needs rain. That means, like, this might take a lot of tears. You know what I'm saying?
Sit and play my guitar tonight until my fingers bleed.
Okay, John Lennon.